Hey guys, so for today's video, I decided to switch it up and take you guys behind the scenes. So I'm actually gonna share with you guys my filming setup tour, kind of take you guys behind the scenes, share with you guys the lighting I use, the lens I use, the mic I use, just pretty much everything that goes into making a YouTube video. I have my vlog camera here. I'm gonna hop on it soon and I'm gonna actually show you guys vlog style. We're gonna tour behind the scenes of pretty much what I'm looking at right now, but what you guys don't see. So I get so many questions, like literally so many questions about what lighting I use. Mainly it's about the lighting and the lens. I did recently, over the past, I think it was like 6 to 8 months ago, I just revamped all my lighting and my lens and everything like that. And ever since I made that change, here's the thing, usually as a YouTuber, we make changes to our quality and tech-wise all the time, but no one notices. You guys never notice because it's I don't know, I feel like we notice because we're so really detailed and looking at it, but you guys literally never notice. So when I switched my lighting and everything, I was like, oh, probably no one's gonna notice, but I was like, I hope they notice, because if they notice, that means it's real good. That means it's real good. And you guys noticed immediately as soon as I changed my lens months ago and I changed my lighting. So many of you commented asking what's different, what are you using? So I want to give you guys tips because I know it's really difficult to start out YouTube. I also want to say everything in this video, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys, everything in this video is hella expensive. But you guys have to understand the reason why I have such expensive equipment is because I've been doing YouTube for 5 years. I started off filming literally on my MacBook webcam. I pulled up my MacBook, pressed record on that bitch, and started. No lights, nothing. I sat in front of a window, free. You know what I'm saying? Everyone starts somewhere. So if you are wanting to start YouTube, don't look at this video and get discouraged. Don't at all. Be creative. Look for more affordable options. You know what I mean? Before I would just sit in front of a window and that worked for me for 2 years. I'm telling you, you don't need all of this expensive equipment, but if you have the budget for it and you're looking to really amp it up, or maybe you've been doing YouTube for 2-3 years and you really want to amp things up, I stand by this equipment. I'm obsessed with my lighting and I'm obsessed with my lens and I really love my setup right now. So I'm really excited to share everything with you guys. I am gonna leave links down below. The links that I leave down below, they are affiliate links and I am gonna make a very small, believe me, small. I feel like people think that YouTubers make $50 off of a commission. Believe me, it's $1 to sometimes $10 depending on the price, but it's a small commission, but I still appreciate it. So I just wanna point that out and thank you guys in advance if you do choose to purchase through my link. I wanna just talk about blurry backgrounds because I know that's a really big thing and a lot of you guys ask about that. Right now my background isn't super blurry and I'll tell you guys why. I'm still using the same lens that gives me a really blurry background. This lens you need, and I'll tell you why. This is the lens that gets you a very blurry background. Pretty much what you want for a blurry background is you want a low f-stop. Now, I'm not a tech expert. Don't ask me exactly what an f-spot is or exactly what it does and what it means. All I know is that a low f-spot, something about the way it opens the lens or whatever, a low f-stop really creates depth. The lower the f-stop is, the blurrier your background is going to be. So right now the lens that I have has an f-stop of 1.8. So it's super blurry when you have great depth of field, which I'm gonna go into that point right after this. But the lens that I had before was a f-stop of 4. And it didn't give me that depth, that professional look. So second point, if you want a blurry background, the fact is you need to have depth of field. And what that means is you need to have distance between me and the background. So right now you guys can see I'm not sitting too far from my background, really not that far. But when I film in my bedroom, I get a lot of comments whoa, the blurry background. And that's because my bedroom is bigger than this room. I think my bedroom's 14 by 14 feet or 13 by 13. So when I sit over here, there's so much distance, so you get that blurrier background. So here's an example. I'm gonna move closer to the camera and further away from my background right now, and you guys are gonna see the difference. Now, do you see how blurry we got? Because I am further from my background. So if you want a blurry background, try to be as far away from your background as possible to create that depth. Another thing too is zoom your camera in. The more that your camera is zoomed, the blurrier the background is going to be. So low f-stop, create distance between you and your background, and zoom the camera in. But the reason why I love this lens, I'm gonna pop it up here. It's the Sigma 18 to 35, yes, 18 to 35 mm, and I'll tell you guys why I like it. I know a lot of people are obsessed with the Canon 50 mm, which is way more affordable than the lens that I have right now and amazing quality. So if you're on a budget, that's a great alternative. But the difference between that one is I couldn't really use that one because 50 is zoomed in a lot. So right now what 50 would look like, you guys would be staring at just my face. So I wouldn't really have the room just because I have a small room. If you have a big room to film in and you have the space for it, the 50 mm is great, it's affordable, and you're gonna get a very blurry background. What I loved about the lens that I have is I have the option of zooming in and out. The Canon 50 mm that I was just telling you guys about, you can't zoom in and out. It's just like, it's the 50, it is what it is. So if you wanted to get closer or further, you'd have to physically move. Whereas this camera, I can turn it and I can move closer, I can move further out. I'm actually gonna show you guys my monitor and all my settings soon. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the blurry background. I know it sounds like super complicated, but that's it. You just need a really good lens to create a low f-stop, give yourself depth of field, and you got a blurry background. And another thing too is when it autofocuses, I know a lot of auto-focusing lens that do give you good blurry backgrounds are noisy. Like a lot of people complain about the noise. If you don't want to have to get an external mic to save space, this is awesome because you can actually have the mic on top of the camera and no one's gonna really hear the noise because it's really quiet. So I'm gonna show you guys. Let's put my camera and let it focus and you'll hear a tiny bit of noise, but literally no one ever notices because it's so quiet. There you go. So it autofocuses and you guys probably heard because like you were listening in, or if you put headphones in, it makes the tiniest little clicky noise. But that's what I love about this lens. It's not noisy at all. So this is literally, in my opinion, the best lens. Like I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. I actually have a remote for my lighting. This is by the brand Aputure. And all my lights are actually from Aputure except for my ring light. I am obsessed with Aputure. The lighting is like, it's worth the price. Like the price tag reflects the quality of the light. Like it's bomb. Every time I turn on these lights, like I just look and I'm just like, wow, like it really just lights you up perfectly. Your skin looks so smooth. I wanted to kind of show you guys how everything looks. Obviously I have all my lights on right now, but I want to show you guys how everything looks when I turn my lights off. So what I love about this remote is I can turn my lights down, higher. I like to keep it on 90. So I basically can just, you know, control it like this and I don't have to get up, which is major key because before I would have to get up, turn it a little bit, sit down and be like, does that look good now? Oh, I can't tell the difference. Whereas here I can like sit here and I can see it's getting darker and lighter and see what I like. But I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like when I turn all my lights off as if I would have no lightings at all. So we're gonna turn off this one, turn off this one, and turn off the overhead. And we're in the dark. The only light that is currently on is my ring light because that one is a different brand. It's not set up to this remote. So, I mean, I would have to get up and turn it off, but you get the point. I mean, I'm not lit up right now. All I have is a huge window beside me, but this window is facing the back of my house, so I really don't get that much sunlight. Turn it back on, pop, 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 and we're lit. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the vlog camera, share with you guys behind the scenes what everything looks like. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna show you guys is what it looks like from my view. So this is pretty much what it looks like. I have this mirror right here, which I am obsessed with. This is the mirror that I always talk to you guys about in my tutorials. That really helps me because if I'm doing mascara and I wanna look up, I can do this. If I wanna turn it this way or down more, it's the best mirror ever. I wanted to show you guys how I actually set up my camera to my laptop. All you have to do is go to Henry's and ask them for the cord that plugs from your camera to your computer, and that's it. So this is actually the app called EOS Utility 2. This is the app that works with the Canon camera that I use, and you pretty much can see yourself as you're filming. As you can see, I'm still recording. You can see yourself, and I can make sure that my sound is on from my mic, white balance on auto. For the f-stop, the ISO you can kind of play with, which really it just depends on my lighting. If it's darker that day, like let's say the sun is out or it's not out, then I'll just play with the lighting. So if I turn the ISO lower, it just gets brighter. And if I turn it up higher, it just gets darker. The f-stop, like I was telling you guys about, this is what you want to keep as low as possible. See, this is as low as mine goes. I always keep it on 1.8 because I want as blurry of a background as possible. Sorry, this is the ISO, and this is the shutter. I believe it's called the shutter speed. Sorry, I was completely mixing up the two. I always leave the ISO on 100. A lot of you guys ask me, what settings do I shoot on? Why does the quality look so good? This is major key, and I'm gonna tell you guys, this is my big secret. Like, this is my secret little tip, okay? So when it comes to picture style, it's really personal preference, and it also depends on where you're filming. Personally, for my home, the way that my walls reflect light, just the way that it looks in my house, in my beauty studio, the option neutral looks the best. I've tried standard, I've tried faithful, I've tried everything, and the lighting, the color just looks weird. I like filming on the picture style neutral, but what I suggest doing is try different picture styles and see which one looks best. But here's where the major secret comes in. You guys always ask me, Amy, why the hell are your videos so high quality? So what I like to do is I'm gonna open this up. So this right here is the sharpness. I put my sharpness all the way up on 7. The reason why I put it on 7 is because it really adds that extra HD sharp quality. So when you guys see my videos and you're like, why are they so HD? I mean, obviously that has a lot to do with the camera that I use. This camera is super bomb, it's really HD, but this adds extra sharpness. Then the only thing that I do, the rest of this is really, again, it depends how everything looks in your house. The only thing that I do is right here for the saturation, I add 1 saturation. Because if I don't, I find that I look really dead. Like, I look kind of dead and my tan doesn't show. So I add 1 saturation, but this is pretty much the major secret. Put your sharpness up high. Okay, so here's how my entire setup looks. So this desk, I always get questions about whenever you guys see it on the vlog channel. This I actually got from HomeSense. I got it for a really good price. It was a steal. Normally, to be real with you, these type of acrylic desks cost like 600 bucks. I got it for like 200, 250, I think, from HomeSense. This chair is from IKEA, super cheap. I think it's like 20 bucks. And yeah, here's how my little setup looks. Don't mind back there, okay? All of that is new makeup that I am organizing and going through. I like how I have this really slim, small desk, and it's clear. It makes it look like you still have space in the room since this is a small room. So I love that. And then this little tray is what I use every time I film makeup tutorials or whatever videos I'm filming. The products that I'm gonna use go in here. My brushes are dirty, just keeping it real. They need to be washed. I also just used them when I did my makeup today, so ignore that. But I keep my brushes and setting sprays in here. I keep this little mirror when I'm filming, and my beauty blenders and everything back there. And this is that mirror that I was telling you guys about. I absolutely love it. I will link it down below. It's from Amazon. And again, here you guys kind of saw I have my laptop that I use for, I just want to put it down because of the glare, that I use as a monitor pretty much, and my remote. This is the best thing ever. It makes my life so easy when I film. So on to the tech stuff, the lighting. So what I have here, you guys, pretty much, I guess professionals call it 3-point lighting. I guess, I don't know, I'm not a professional. I've honestly just been doing YouTube for so long that I've tried so many different lighting, so many different setups, and this is just what works best for me. So here I have a light over there and a light over there. So on this side, I actually have a really huge floor to ceiling window, but there are condos right on the other side, and this is also facing the back, so we don't really get a ton of lighting in this room. So what I do is I put a light on the left side so it can brighten up the left side of my face. I put the light on the right side of my face so it can brighten up the right, but I do usually keep this light turned down a little lower just because I do have the light coming in on that side. And then over here is my ring light. This ring light, as you can see, it's kind of slanted, and the reason why I have it slanted more towards that side is to focus lighting up the left side of my face, because again, I do have a window that does a pretty decent job at letting in some light on this side of my face. So that's just my little trick to even out the lighting, but I do like having a ring light in the center and then the left and the right side, just to really provide even light all the way around. Now, one thing I've thought about a lot lately is putting an aluminum kind of wrap over my desk. That way I can bounce the light. I know a lot of YouTubers do that. That's a really good trick. It's just something that I haven't done. I probably should do it. It would probably look awesome, but it's just, yeah, that's a really good tip as well. The fourth lighting that I have in the last lighting is this overhead light. Now you might be wondering, Amy, why the heck do you need a light for your background? And I mean, you guys saw the way it looked without it. The background just looks very dull. It doesn't look lit and bright and open and spacey. So adding that light really helps. Also, this light reflects on my hair, so it makes your hair stand out. It makes your hair super shiny, so it just makes everything look really good. So this light right here, this big one, and that light are all by the same brand. These are the Aputure Lightstorm LS1S. I will say these lights are super heavy, so please make sure that the stand you get can really support them. So this light, when you get it, actually it comes just like this, just with the little light beads at the back, and it does not come with a diffuser. I didn't like that because I found it just looked so harsh. You always kind of want to soften the light a little bit. So I actually just bought this huge sheet. This is just a diffuser sheet from Amazon, and it's huge. Like, it's super, super big, but all I did was cut out a piece, and I bought these little clips from the dollar store, and I just clipped them on, and I created my own little diffuser for them. This is the ring light that I use. This is the Diva Ring Light Nebula. I like this one specifically because it is dimmable. You can make it brighter or less bright. It just offers more versatility, and the on and off switch, which is super easy to use. And I love the gooseneck as well because it allows me to really move the light wherever I want it to go. Okay, so on to my camera. So this is the Canon EOS 70D, the best camera, and I'm telling you, actually right now, I think now like the 70D is kind of like going out. They're bringing in the 80D right now, so definitely get the 80D. It's just the upgraded version. If you can find the 70D for cheaper, get it, because they're the same thing. They're really good. But if you can't, the 80D is the new one, and it works just as good. Bomb cameras, super reliable, and the autofocus that it offers is amazing. I love this lens. I talked to you guys already about it. It's amazing. This is, again, the Sigma 18 to 35 millimeter 1.8 lens. So as for my mic, this is the Rode VideoMic Pro. It works amazing, I'm telling you. You can use the mic that just is inside the camera, but once you upgrade, there's no going back because the quality is so clear. So these are the settings that I keep mine on. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about is the light that you have in the room that you're going to use is super important too. I really hate this chandelier. Can I just say, it's so, like, I feel like it looks so tacky. It's not my style at all anymore. This is like literally, this chandelier is like 6 or 7, maybe even 10. Yeah, I think it's like 10 years old. I wish I had more of a modern one, but we're kind of moving soon and we're planning on buying a home, so I just see no point in buying a new chandelier right now. Besides the style, this chandelier is amazing, and I'll tell you why. The light hits the ceiling and bounces right down and creates such even light going around. The worst thing you get is like pot lights, because pot lights create very like spotty, shadowy light, and I really hate that. You want to get a chandelier because, again, the light bounces off the ceiling, bounces back down, and creates an even all-around light with no shadow. Oh, I kind of didn't really talk about this too much. Yeah, I mean, I kind of said it's just good to light up my background. Actually, I have it on a C-stand. A C-stand is really good because you can move it around. You can push it obviously all the way up here and move it around wherever you want it to go. So I loved how I was able to put it up almost in the center and allow the light to go all over my entire background to really light up this area. So I'm actually gonna turn it off so you guys can see it just from this perspective. This just adds that little pop. So I really love having my background light. And again, it's by the same brand. Actually, this one is the LS half W because it's a different one. It's like the half size. All right, so that is pretty much it. Here's a quick little overview on how everything looks. But other than that, this is my entire setup. It works really well for me, and I kind of just love how, I don't know, to a lot of you guys, you might think it's complicated and like a lot, but from my perspective, it's simple and to the point. One light there, one light there, one light there, one light there, done. But what I love too is the lights aren't super big, but yet they pack a punch, because before I had these huge softbox lights, and they took up so much space, and they were such an eyesore. They made me feel so claustrophobic. So I just love how these lights are smaller. They give you more space, more room, but they pack a punch. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed kind of getting a behind the scenes tour. I wanted to make this video as informative as possible, but as like simple as possible and organized, because I feel like sometimes if I'm just like sitting here talking and talking and talking, it can all jumble up into one. So I wanted to really try to not repeat myself, try to not ramble too much, and really just give you guys the basic, simple, to the point facts that you need to know. So I hope that I communicated everything well enough. Regardless, I am gonna leave every single thing mentioned down below. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was super informative, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys. Mwah.